On a chilly Friday evening in a small town in Ohio, the lights of Lincoln High School's football field burned bright against the dark sky. The stands were filling fast, cheering parents, proud grandparents, and friends wrapped in school colors. Among the players warming up on the field was Ethan Miller, a 12-year-old boy with nervous hands and hopeful eyes. He kept glancing toward the entrance of the stadium, again and again. He was waiting for his dad. Ethan's jersey read Miller across the back. It was his first time starting as a wide receiver. For weeks, he had talked about this night non-stop, how he practiced routes in the backyard, how he dreamed of hearing his dad cheer his name. His teammates' parents were already there, waving, filming, smiling. But the seat Ethan had saved stayed empty. Jack Miller, Ethan's father, was supposed to be there. He had promised. Jack never broke promises, not since the day Ethan's mother passed away 7 years earlier. Since then, Jack had been everything: father, mother, coach, cook, comforter, and provider. But that night, Jack wasn't in the stands. He was in room 314 of Mercy General Hospital, sitting beside a hospital bed, holding the hand of an elderly woman who wasn't related to him by blood, but might as well have been family. Her name was Mrs. Eleanor Whitmore. Eleanor had been Jack's neighbor for nearly a decade. After Jack's wife died in a car accident, he and Ethan were broken. Nights were silent, dinners forgotten, grief heavy. Eleanor, a retired schoolteacher with gentle eyes and silver hair, noticed. She brought casseroles. She helped Ethan with homework. She stayed late when Jack worked night shifts as an EMT. She never asked for anything in return. When Jack struggled to pay rent, Eleanor quietly slipped an envelope under his door. When Ethan had nightmares, she sat by his bed and read stories until he fell asleep. To Ethan, she was Grandma Ellie. 3 days before the game, Eleanor collapsed in her kitchen. Jack was on shift when the call came in. He didn't know it was her until he arrived on scene. She was rushed to the hospital. The diagnosis was brutal: advanced heart failure. The doctor was honest, she didn't have much time. Jack stayed every night after work. He read to her. He held her hand. He told her about Ethan's game, about how proud he was of his son. On the day of the game, Eleanor's condition worsened. The doctor pulled Jack aside and said quietly, "If you want to say goodbye, tonight would be the night." Jack looked at his phone. A message from Ethan sat unread. "Dad, don't forget. Kickoff is at 7. Jack's chest tightened. He had already missed so much: school events, dinners, moments that never came back. But as he looked at Eleanor, struggling to breathe, eyes flickering open and closed, he knew the truth. She had been there for Ethan when no one else was. Now, she was alone. Jack texted back with shaking hands. "I'm so sorry, buddy. I can't make it tonight. I love you more than anything." He didn't explain. He couldn't. Back at the field, Ethan read the message just before kickoff. His face fell. He nodded, trying to be strong, but tears stung his eyes. One of the coaches asked if he was okay. Ethan just said, "Yeah, my dad's working." The game started. Ethan played hard, but every catch felt heavy. Every cheer reminded him of the one voice he wanted to hear but couldn't. At halftime, Ethan sat on the bench alone. Meanwhile, in the quiet hospital room, Eleanor's breathing slowed. She squeezed Jack's hand weakly. "Did Ethan's game start?" she whispered. Jack swallowed hard. "Yes, ma'am." Her eyes filled with tears. "You should be there." Jack shook his head. "I'm exactly where I need to be." Eleanor smiled, a soft, peaceful smile. "You raised a good boy," she said. Just like his mother would have. Minutes later, Eleanor passed away, holding Jack's hand. Jack cried silently. Not just for Eleanor, but for the moment he had missed with his son. The next morning, Jack went to Ethan's room, ready to explain everything, ready to apologize. But Ethan wasn't there. Jack panicked, until he found a note on the kitchen table. "Dad, Coach said we're visiting the hospital today. I'll be back soon. Love you." Jack's heart dropped. At Mercy General Hospital, Ethan and his team stood in a hallway holding handmade cards. A nurse told them about Eleanor, how she had volunteered for years, helped families, loved children. Then Ethan saw the photo on the memorial board. It was him. A younger Ethan. Standing beside Eleanor at a school bake sale. Ethan's breath caught. He turned to the nurse. "That's Grandma Ellie, isn't it?" The nurse nodded. Ethan didn't cry. He just understood. When Ethan got home, he hugged his dad tightly. No anger. No blame. "I know why you missed the game," Ethan said softly. "You were being there for someone who was always there for us." Jack broke down. That night, Ethan said something Jack would never forget. "Dad. I didn't need you in the stands. I needed you to be who you are." Weeks later, the school dedicated a small plaque to Eleanor Whitmore, for her kindness, her generosity, and her quiet love. Ethan stood beside Jack as the plaque was unveiled. The crowd applauded. Jack looked at his son and realized something powerful. Being a good parent isn't about never missing a moment. It's about teaching your child what love looks like, even when it's hard. If this story touched your heart, please like the video and subscribe to the channel.